Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online, and we're here this Sunday afternoon right at the top of the hour. It's just knocking on 3 PM. Acero from Japan has arrived. Albinario is still to show, so we're assuming he's going to turn up. This is a big match of the weekend, the winner's side match between Albinario from Sweden and Acero from Japan. Race to 14, it's 10 ball, all combos and banks should be called, no jump cues, 60-second shot clock, 60-second extension, and we are about, well, I would say about 30 seconds away from the room going up, and Albinario has arrived, so we are all good to go. And well, this is the one I've been looking forward to. Acero was outstanding in his last match against Bill, and Albinario has been very good all the way through so far. As I said last night, Albinario and Cobra are the two players that have exhibited the best cue ball control, the best positional play as a result of it, and well, Albinario and Acero are both unbeaten. But I also said that after Acero's match against Bill, the concern I had was whether Acero could reach the same standards in this match, because I feel he's going to have to. So they're lagging off. We've got the blue cloth, and it's winner breaks as well, remember, no alternate break. So here we go, and Acero winning the break, or winning the lag, sorry, but he has come up dry straight away. Once again, we are streaming live to YouTube, Twitch and Facebook. Everything should be up and running. Albinario's playing this with a bit of lefty punch off the railing around, and he's overhit it. Good morning, Bill. You're the first in the door. Nobody else has spoke up. And this is the first of 3 matches today. And now this one is going to take precedent, because in an hour's time, I believe, there's another match due up, which I think is Bedhead and Mooncake, and that's on the one-loss side. And then I think about 7 o'clock tonight, that's another 4 hours, around about that time, we've got Mr. Bill against Sylvia on the one-loss side. I think Bedhead will be the very strong favourite in his match. Although he's over on the one-loss side, he's been looking very good in his last couple of matches. And Mooncake arrived on the one-loss side, and I don't think he's got the firepower to really cause Bedhead a lot of problems. But in a race to 10, you know, anything can happen. But one thing I would say is that if Mooncake's going to do anything in this match coming up, he's going to have to get his act together, because he was all over the place in his last match. Welcome everybody, welcome Popman, Keith's there. Just in the first rack, Acero having broken off dry, and he's given Albinario ball in hand because he's fouled the 4. And well, of course, look at where the problem lies. We've got the 9 and the 8 tied up together, and that 3 ball doesn't look that great. It might squeeze past the 5, yes it does. So any predictions from anybody? I'll certainly put Albinario as a favourite, but it could be close. if, and I say if, acero keeps up the same standard. I mean, the one thing about acero was his brake was working, and I mean, the balls are lying pretty good. He certainly did well with those. Good afternoon, Simon. No, you'll only be 5 minutes to your home then. So Albinario has got a problem to deal with. He could take a big risk here, and the big risk is trying to brush into the 9 and 8 ball and still be on the 6. And well, he's got the angle to maybe just force the cue ball into them, but it's a big risk. Well, he's decided against it, and so that means that with the angle he has in the 6, he's not doing anything this time, and he's only going to get one more shot at it. Yeah, I reckon there could be 3 or 4 racks in it. Well, he's got the angle this time. Well, strange as to what he's thinking of doing here, or what the shot was supposed to be. Well, he's going to call the bank. This could backfire. And it's going to, so it's going to be a missed call, and acero sitting plumb in the 9 is going to pinch the first rack. And so the mistake from Albinario was not taking the risk on that 5 ball. The angle wasn't perfect, but he could have forced the cue ball to nudge something, and he left it, and then in the end it all sort of fizzled out, and that's given acero the start he wants. But once again, this time, again the contrast is there straight away. In acero's last match, I don't think he came up with many dry breaks. Good afternoon, Linus. It's only 10 past 3 here. It's not evening yet. Not unless you're living over by acero, which is about 10 past 11 at night, I think. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. And Yamaguchi Taru has arrived in the room. Somebody drag him into the streams. Yeah, as I say, over here the nights are fair drawing in. It was -1 this morning when I was driving to work. I had to thaw the car out. Now, Albinario here, is he going to try and, I think he's going to try and, well, I don't think he called that, did he? It's going to be a missed call, surely. Yeah. And acero has passed it back. That's what I was wondering. The thing is, no, wait a minute. I'll be I'm confused here. He called a safety. I think that's correct. Well, I'm confused. I don't know whether... See, the thing is we don't get to see the pop-up. That's the problem. He called a safety, but if as long as it still offers the player the choice to play or pass, then he passed it back. That's the way I see it. So we don't know about the pop-up. So when you're a spectator like this, you're a bit in the dark, unless you know the rules 100%. Good afternoon, Jose. Good afternoon, Slim. At 10 ball, no meaning to call safety, says Yama. Right, in that case then, if you call a safety in 10 ball and you pot a ball, the other player doesn't have any choice. So my question then is why did Acero pass it back? Somebody answer that one. Because that was just a turn passed. Because there was nothing come up on the screen at all. And so therefore my assumption is that well, you see, you're right. Thank God you're here, Larry. When you say you had the choice, then that then would confirm that Acero had the pop-up, which we don't see. That's the only thing that bugs me about 10 ball when you're watching it. If you're not 100% familiar with the rules. So he had to have the pop-up, or else he wouldn't have been able to pass it back other than turn pass that it showed on our screen. Well, Albinario called a safety, and he banked whatever ball it was, and it went into the middle pocket. And now after that, Albinario had left no shot on the next ball. It was slightly snookered, and then the next thing that happened, the turn was passed back by Acero. We don't see that he has a pop-up. According to Larry, he has the choice after a safety's called, and the table isn't good, and the table wasn't good, so he passed it back, and that then clarifies the matter. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it's one rack all in this race to 14. It's over and done with. And Albie's had the 3 ball in the break, and quick look at this 1 ball, he's got no shot, so playing the push out. Now where's he going to push to? What doesn't apply in 10 ball, Popman? In that case then, why is it in 10 ball? That's my next question. Why is the call a safety option in 10 ball? Now there's a good safety. You know what I keep saying about good safeties, you get that cue ball really tight. Look at how tight it is, and look at what angles Albinario's got. He's got nothing, absolutely nothing to go by here. Now of course we've got the 5 and the 9 I think on that top rail, not necessarily locked up. I mean they're set as a combo, and well, the thing is, I think it's probably up to you guys to say something to Tin, because nothing will happen. And when we're on, when we're on that matter, we don't know what's happened to Franco. He's disappeared before Senate, unfortunately, and we don't know the true outcome of why he's not here. We've heard a rumour by one person, but we can't confirm anything. So Acero is rewarded for his good safety, and ball in hand. Now let's have a quick look round at this 4 ball, because that's the next problem even before he gets to that 5. Jose Sene passed away on Wednesday. Yeah, he had a stroke on Monday of last week, and he died on Wednesday morning. Well, Acero hasn't got the cue ball tight to the 10, so it gives Albi options to get to this 4 ball. Now, he certainly doesn't want to hit the 9 by mistake, if he can help it. Like that. In actual fact, he's probably done himself a favour there, because the 9 was set pretty much as a combo, and now it's left a problem. But Acero, with ball in hand, can take care of the 9 and 5 issue right now. I think Sene was in his 60s, he just recently retired, I believe. So Acero set it back more or less like it was before, but look at the angle he's got, and that 9 ball is just slightly further off the rail than the 5. Now the question is, does he hit this pocket weight, or does he give it a good bash to make sure that if the 9 doesn't go, that it at least comes out? I think he's erred on the safety, and he's done the right thing. Another excellent safety shot. This isn't difficult to hit, of course, but Albi knows that if he doesn't get this safe and Acero has the shot, then he should be out. Well, Acero's going to be hampered. Good afternoon. Well, like I say, Acero has to be on his toes. And he has to do things like this and take out the chances that he gets every time. He can't be gifting anything to Albinario. When you're at this stage of the tournament, you have to prove your worth. You have to do the business when it's asked of you. And well, the problem, there is still a problem here. That 9 ball fairly tight to the top rail, so when Acero pots this 7, he has to leave the angle, which he has done, so that he can get across and have the angle on the 9 to come out into the table. Oh, he's hung it. He's hung it. And that's a chance gone. And it's more than likely going to be punished. And these opportunities, you just cannot afford to be throwing them away. So Albinario has been reprieved by the error from acero, and goodness me, Albinario has returned the favour. He can't put the 10 ball away. Now, does this cut without a scratch? I think it does. Yep, he's fine. Well, that rack tossed and turned in the last 3 shots, but it's acero that takes the lead. But acero has not had a ball on the break so far, which is not a good sign. And Albinario with a shot in the 1. Now what does he do? He's trying to, it looks as if he's trying to spin out left to get that 2 into the left middle. And he's pretty much there. And then the other problem is to get onto that 4 off this 3 ball, and that's not going to be easy because he's got very limited choices as to where he's going to have a shot on it. So this is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, this rack. I mean, all the balls are open, but the 4 ball is the crucial one. Now, is he going to try and draw right into this space here? Can he do it? No, he can't really. He's got the wrong angle, but that would have been the shot. Well, he's given himself a chance. He's got pretty much on the line to play the combo. But if he had been straight on that 3 ball, it would have been oh so easy just to draw into that gap over behind the 8 and 9 there, but just a fraction out. But this is second best. Oh, the 4's going to go safe, more or less. Well, it's just off the rail, but it's a dicey little chip. Got to get this just on the thin edge, or he can push it to the knuckle. He's got to get it really sweet. And he's got it, but this 8 ball has done him. So this rack is up for grabs. Albinario looking for the safety. And that looks pretty good to me. Yes, it is. Now acero is trying to just hit the rail, clip the 5 and come out across. He's got it actually thicker than he thought, and he's left it on. He just got it too thick. The idea was right, but having got it thick, it moved, what was it, the 8 ball out the way, or whatever ball it was there, and has left the 5 on. Where's this cue ball finishing up? It's not bad. So a reminder to all the latecomers, we've got this match on at the moment. Oh, that's dead and buried, that 7 ball. That's a big mistake by Albinario, concentrating and holding for the 8 ball, and he's totally forgot about the 7. Yeah, we've got this match on the winner's side, the only one today, and then we've got a match starting in about 35 minutes time on the one loss side between, I think it's Bedhead and Mooncake, and then the one to finish off this evening will be Mr. Bill against Sylvia, which I think is at 6 British Summer Time. But this is another bonus for acero, and it's the first break really, a 2-rack gap early on in the match. And so, well, we've had errors for both players that's cost them racks. Well, almost. Acero hanging up the 8 ball, but I think he eventually won the rack. And of course, we've seen yet another break from Acero, and he can't get a ball, and he couldn't stop getting balls the last time, and he's getting nothing at the moment, but he won't be concerned about that as long as he keeps winning racks. He's 3-1 up, but he really has to start getting something. And that's too heavy from Albinario. He can still get the cut back, but he could collide with the 10 ball here. No, he's well away from it. Well away from it. Just hit it plain ball. So cut the 4, get out, and we can see the problems ahead for Albinario here. Yeah, he's trying to get into them and still be on the 5, but no joy. So he's only going to get one go at this, and it all hinges on getting, he wants to get onto this bottom rail, because that then gives him a wide angle to get a hit on this 8 and 7. Well, he's gone straight across, and that's not going to give him much of a chance. I think he's staring right down the 6 ball, so he's got no chance of getting disturbance on this. He could try digging it in with bottom and left, but he might spin into the 10, so it's looking like the safety, unless he's going to call the 8 from that angle and try and make the combo. It's a big shot. Well, is he trying to fool me again? Well, he's taking his time, which would suggest he's getting himself lined up to take this 8 ball on. He's missed it, and he's left acero in, and it could be a 4-1 lead. Well, the bad news for Albinario is that acero's break can only get better right now, and in a minute or two's time Albinario can be 4-1 down, and acero's not had the chance to show us what he can do off the break as he did in his last match, because the break hasn't been working, and all he needs now is the break to start working, and it's bad news for Albi, even at this early stage. So this 10 ball for a 4-1 lead. Now another break from acero. Well, you know what I say, if the brake ain't working, then change it up. I don't know where he's been braking from prior, but that was in the middle. But he just cannot get a ball yet. Not one single ball in the brake from acero so far. And now, of course, Albinario with an opening shot. He's on the 2, trying to nudge the 5 out the way. Excellent. And he has to run out. And so this is now Albinario playing under pressure, knowing that he has to take it out. Cannot afford to mess it up. And this 6 ball is difficult, because if you don't get good, you've got to be really reasonably straight in this 6 ball to make sure you're going to pot it, and he looks as if he's going to have to pot it long unless he comes right back down the table here. He looks as if he's coming down. Yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome to everybody again. Yeah, that is why the 6 ball was so difficult. You've got to get pretty straight on it, and it's a chance gone for Albinario, and acero out of the blocks like a sprinter, desperate to ram home the punishment if he can. Well, loads of room down the left hand side. The angle's good. It's all about judging the pace just to get past the middle pocket on the left, and don't leave yourself too high in the 9. I think the worry is here that he's too close to the rail to play this comfortably. That's the problem. The actual cue ball, he would have preferred out into the table a bit more to make this better. It's just a bit of a hindrance. Yeah, he's just trying to judge it off the point, but he's left himself high. So this is a tester. And that's what happens when you get out of line. But he has got it safe, and Albi's going to have to kick long. He'll get this 9 times out of 10. 9 right over the corner pocket. Where's the cue ball finishing? Well, a similar angle for Albinario, but he's got out of jail here if he gets this. And it goes. He was on. Don't know whether he was on here last night on the stream, but he was on one of my streams. Certainly, I don't think I think he was on later than Friday. He might have been on Saturday night. And Albinario has broke off, and well, what went? The 3 ball has gone. The bank called. The bank has been missed. Well, one ball, if he gets it, no problem with the two. The problem from then is the four. This is difficult to judge. Really difficult. I mean, the normal path of the cue ball is to come down the right hand side, which is no good to you. And he's not got enough in it. So now, and this is, well, is he going to try and sneak over behind the 8 and the 5? This is dodgy, because if he's going to do that, he has to use a wee bit of pace and punch that 4 ball, and won't have a clue where it's going to end up. It could end up hitting a 7. It could end up opening up the 5 and the 8, and it could all go wrong. So he's got to be careful here with what he's doing. Well, he's used the 7 as a stopper, killed the cue ball, and again the end result is excellent. A good safety. And well, there's a line to get to the 4 ball. Now, having a look at the 5, well, that 5 goes. And that's going to be into play, and that's going to be perfect for acero, as long as he can stay in the gap. He can't go to the bottom rail because he'll have no shot, so he has to stay in the gap. And the other problem is, look at the angle he's got. The angle he's got in the 4 means that if he pots this, he could just go all out and hope he gets lucky, because it's going to be difficult to hold for the 5 at that angle. Oh, he's played it well. He's played that excellently. Well, he's playing the billiard. Has he actually looked at the 5? Well, he's playing the billiard. Now, where's the 5 going to end up? Oh, goodness me. Look at that. All of a sudden, there's a possibility of Albi getting back to within 1. If acero can't get out of this safe, because that was, I mean, again, having to take the billiard was certainly a wee bit easier than trying to make the cut in that 5. Had he done that, it would have left everything in position, and the risk in that shot was just wondering where the 5 was going to end up. And also, of course, the cue ball rolling in behind the 6 has done acero no favour, so an important kick shot. Oh, he's got the hit. And where's the cue ball going? I think it's still showing. Yeah. Well, it almost came off, but I'll be at the table with the chance to get back within 1. And of course, Acero had the 4-1 lead, but in all the breaks he's had, he's getting nothing in the break, which is so important. So it is back to within one, and Albinario breaking from right on the centre. Well, this time he's dry, and well, look at the 8 ball. That 1 ball was dead on into the middle, and the 8 ball has just blown Acero's chances there. And I think there's a gap as well, and that safety's gone wrong, but the 3 ball is tied up with the 7, so work ahead. But Albinario gets first shout. Now it doesn't go from that side, so he can just push it through to the rail, brush onto the 7 and hold there, and that will do. But it's an easy kick. Thin cut running into the 5, and that 5 may well hold Albinario for the 4. I think he just has to, maybe in fact I think he's too close. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think he's too close, and he still looks as if he's going for the cut. Right, it's worked out because he has hit the 5 and he has held for the 4, and the 5's still in play, so that will do. This is a shot that's going to clinch it, and he's way high in bedhead territory on this 6 ball, and he's going to slam into the 10 and hope he holds for the 7. No, he's not going to slam into it, but he's going to be playing the combo any second. So this to square the match, and this is difficult because he's so high on it. And it's going to hang, and it's all over. Or is it? Yeah, it is. So this time Acero gets the easy out to maintain his lead and open it to 2 again. Well, it is true. I mean, if I had somebody talking to me like that in a pool match, I'd probably have snapped a cue over his head long before now, being brutally honest. I mean, I would have smacked him in the mouth. But that's the perfect advice. Keep telling everybody. You just mute them from the start. You've not a problem. You're playing the table and the balls. Your mind's on the game. You're not paying any attention to what's going on. Them that want to can watch and listen to his trash talk. Well, here's the other thing that you can do, semi-pro, which I never told you about. But see the chat window at the bottom of the screen. All you have to do is to roll scroll the chat, the text in the chat up the way, and you won't see his text. You won't see it, even if you can't mute him, or if you don't want to risk muting him because you crashed. So you can still deal with the chat whether you mute him or not. But Albinario at the table, immediately going to get back to within one. Yeah, let's talk about this match. Let's not talk about Stubb. And Albinario, ball in the break, 8 ball has gone. No shot in the one, but he can certainly run for cover. Well, he looks as if he fancies running out. If he's calling the one into the middle. It's going to hit the point, but he's got it safe. So the secondary part of that shot was being on the 2 and using the 3 ball for cover, which is good thinking. And that's going to come right into play. And so now when Albie pots this 1 and 2, what's it going to do with the 3 ball? Because it's not got a pocket unless you get behind it. Now he could take a risk here. Again, he's got to be on the 2. He could try nudging the 3 if he's got the angle. And he's brushed the 6 out the way, and that takes care of that problem. And another good shot. Again, a player that's thinking all the time about problem balls and taking care of them. But he's gone a wee bit out of line there in the 3. And this is what makes Albie a good player, because he is thinking about what he's doing. If you've got that problem ball, you have to immediately look at how you can take care of it, or how you can open up the gap. He nudged the 6 out the way. He's played a good shot in the 3 there. And this is going to have to be another one. He's got to judge this well, and he's just about got there. So all the latecomers, this looks as if it's going to boil up into a good match. Acero with an early 4 racks to 1 lead. Mistakes from both players. Acero can't get a ball in the break. You've yet to see one. Albinario's been getting them, but Acero's had absolutely zilch. Nothing. So we are going to be tied at 5 racks all. Now, what the hell are you doing in Spain? No disrespect to Jose, but I mean, let's be honest, you just don't leave the country right now. It's getting back into the country that's a problem. He's a bullfighter. Has the Toreador. Yeah, he's a people trafficker. That's what he is. Well, Albinario gets the hit. And, well, Acero's going to have to call a ball here. Now, he's called a 3. And it goes, and he's going to call the 7. Well, it's so important. And I think he's blocked out. He's going to have to just get it in off the knuckle. But it is so important Acero just asserts his presence in the match by running this table. You got the chance with Albinario trying to kick safe in the 1, and he's got to take it out. Yeah, if the match hasn't been arranged, then you both arrange it basically, or whoever it is accepts the proposal, and then you could actually, I mean, you could actually sort that right out now. You set the match for 10 minutes time. Whoever your opponent goes into the room when the room goes up, and it times out, and he's advanced. Simple as that. That's the easy way to fix it. Very simple job to sort that out. Yeah, because you don't want the room to go up, none of you are here, and then it advances the wrong player. But if that, well, see there, thank God Larry's here, because I can't remember, but there's a forfeit button on the tournament page against the tie or something like that. Well, Acero has regained a lead, and that is the first ball that he's had in the break, and wouldn't you believe it, it's the 1 ball and he's on the 2, albeit a horrible angle. He's going to run into the 6, and he's got to hope, well, I think he has to dig into this 2 ball. I think he has to try and create something with it, because if he just runs into the 6, he's probably not going to see the 3. Well, I'll tell you the other solution, guys. The other solution is just to get a hold of Tin, or even Steve, and just explain to him and get him just to sort it out, rather than messing about for 2 or 3 days. Just get Steve to sort it. Well, he's knocked the 6 in, the 2's gone in, and he's found, well, he can see the 3, and the 3 is slightly off the rail, and he should be on the 4, but this is not easy. Can he get to the potting angle? I think he can. that's a good shot. And now he's a bit in between here and hampered by the 7 ball. This is tricky, and he's going to have to take evasive action just to avoid scratching. And this is a toughie. Big dig into this 7 ball, drawn to the left rail and out for the 8. And now got to get nice on this 9. Doesn't want to have to run up the table and down if he can help it, and that will do. Can just punch it in and across for the 10. And so acero, for the first time in a match, guys, I keep reminding you, but the first time in a match, acero has regained the lead in the last rack, had a break, potted the ball in the break, the 1 ball, landed on the 2, and he's run out. And now the break is starting to work for acero, because he's potted the 8 and the 9 in the break. He's plumbing the 1, the 2's hanging over the pocket, and suddenly acero is back in action as he was in the match against Bill. This is what he was doing. He was getting a break, the ball was going in, he was getting a shot, he was running out, and there's nothing you can do. And I've been waiting all match for this to happen. And suddenly, from 5-all, it's 7-5, with a strong chance that it can be a 3-rack lead again. And this is a tricky one. He's just got to go 100%, stun this in, and find the gap behind that 7 to get on the 5. And he has to be accurate, because that 6 ball is going to be a problem. And oh dear, if he'd missed that 7, he'd have been high and dry, he'd have been fine. And Albi has been reprieved for the time being. So he's called the 5 bottom left corner, but if he gets this right, he could punch it and it misses the 6, and he's got a safety. And I think it's just crept out, so Albinario has been given the chance, and that is, well, everything was looking good there for acero, but it's amazing how things just turn in one shot. Oh, what's he done here? Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, all the room in the world. Well, Larry's watching this. How the hell do you finish there in the 10 ball, Larry? Answer that one, please. That is horrible. Watch the cue ball. Yeah, cue ball was always odds on for the scratch. So acero has been reprieved. Well, what a strange rack that was, and a strange end. Albinario finding the worst possible place he could put the cue ball, slap bang next to the 10 with virtually no shot, and he scratches, and acero does have his 3-rack lead, and the balls are going in, and once again he's got a shot in the 1, and this is bad news for Albinario, because acero's got the break working. Okay, he's on the 1, it's not pretty, he's tight in the rail, and the 3 ball is a problem. Well, we've got the Larry shot, that one there's the Albinario shot, where you've got the whole 9-foot area of the table to get on the 10 ball, and he found the worst possible place to get to it. Well, acero. Now, I was reading the chat there. I presume he missed the one rather than playing the safety, and it's ended up like that, but he won't be caring. Albinario's got no shot. But it just seems like a light has gone on with acero's break, because all of a sudden he's getting balls, he's getting a shot, and he's just, the only thing that hasn't happened yet, he hasn't just run out. So the other match between Bedhead and Mooncake, I think, not Moon, who the hell is it again? I've totally forgotten. Anyway, that match should just be starting on the one loss side. I'll be looking to hide this cue ball, and he's made a pretty good effort at it. That's got acero in trouble. And I think he's thinking of just tying something up here. Well, I said earlier in the tournament that Albinario's been playing well, but at some point somebody has a bad match. It's all a question of when Albinario's bad match is going to come along. And that was the right thing to do. Now, how many players in this tournament have not got a clue about even something simple like that, actually locking a ball up and conceding the ball in hand just to try and keep yourself in the rack? I mean, you're leaving yourself open to the three foul, but at least you've still got a lifeline. And Albinario with ball in hand is going to push for the 3 fouls here. And he's opened up the 4 and 5 in the process to add even more pressure to acero. So Albinario is in charge in this rack at the moment. And I don't think there's any way to get to the... I mean, where's he going to find a line to get to this 1 ball? 2 ball hanging over the corner pocket at the top end. He's tried to... Oh, that was excellent. Absolutely superb. That is a shot. That is a shot of the tournament right there. Because you see this, the English they had in that to actually straighten that ball up. That is a shot of the tournament. I'm going to have to watch that after the match, because he deserves to run out from that. That was brilliant. Now, what's he got here? Well, he's on the 3. He can squeeze it past the 5. He doesn't want to go over behind the 10 and 8 here though. Well, maybe that's actually done him a favour. Let's have a look. This is tight, but I think Albi can just get there. Just and no more. Oh, it's just gone in. And acero with that shot may well end up losing the rack now. If Albi can get himself in the 5, he's going to run up the table. He's run into the 8 and the 10 to hold for the 5. He's still got the cut. This is another one to be dealt with. Cutting into the blind pocket, should get the pot, but got to draw across for the 8, and that's about as well as he could play it. So Albinario is going to pinch one back and get back to within 2. Well, 9 balls hanging, no shot, no ball in the break for Albinario, and this rack has to go for acero because they're all there. Oh, he needs to get out and miss the 8. He's just chipped it, he's still got the cut. And it's going to have to be the 4-9 combo, as long as he can see the 4. That cue ball is going to end up over on the right rail. I think he's just got to get this in the hole and deal with the 4 ball however it lands. Somebody do me a quick favour, somebody go onto the BBC Sport website and tell me the Celtic score, please, because the second half should have started. He's missed a 3. The blind pocket cut always causing a problem. But now what does Albi do? Does he pot it past the 7? (2-0). Thanks a lot. And Albi's potted it on the 4. Well, that was, if it hadn't hit that 8 ball, acero would have been perfect. But it is a very good chance that has gone here for acero. These are the racks. When he does get that dry break from Albinario and a shot, he has to run out just to add the pressure and keep that gap. But the deeper it goes into the match, the more the pressure builds for both of them. But Albinario at the moment is trying to get back on par with acero. Well, again, look where the 10 ball is. Middle of the table. It's all about judging the pace. And the shot that Albi's got here should be perfect. Just to draw up the left hand side. Well, he spun it. Spin and draw. And straight in to get back within 1. Now, how many are watching in the stream? Because we've got me in the room, 2 players, and another 3 people. The 151. I read the match report, said Motherwell were lacklustre, which means they were crap. That's a journalistic way of putting it, lacklustre. They weren't in it. Well, Albinario's break, dry. Once again, a shot for acero. But let's have a look. We'll give him the 1 ball, because that's not the problem. There's the problem right there. And there's nothing going to happen here. Well, now he can get mean and dirty here. But it's too tight to try and squeeze behind the 9. But he certainly doesn't want to leave Albie with any creative shots here. Well, he's trying to squeeze it in behind the 9, and that will do. I mean, it's not a snooker, but now Albie's shot, he only has one option to skim away from the 2, but if he gets it moving, he could leave the combo. So he's got to think here, and he's looking for cover. Now look at where the 2's finished, and that is a billiard or a combo. The billiard looks favourite to me onto that 5 ball. It's a big risk because you don't know where the 2's going to end up. You're just hoping, but I think he's going to play the billiard, hit that 2 ball, half ball, and stun into the 5. 17 on YouTube. Oh, that's not bad. Well, the 17 that are on YouTube aren't talking, but they're all welcome to, as long as we don't get the numpty that we had the other day there, who was well taken care of, I can assure you. That guy won't even know that I'm streaming now, unless he's somebody who's in the stream under another name. Well, he decided on the combo instead, and well, it's all gone wrong. Well, he's got no joy with the 2 staying in play, and it's the really thin cut, but well, this is so difficult. Yeah, well, he's got second prize though. He'll take that any day. Now, Albinario just trying to leave it safe, and he has done. And this is another tricky one. You don't want to leave yourself vulnerable to getting buried by Albinario here. I don't think, has he got there? No, he hasn't. And Albinario can cut the 2. 3's not a problem. It's just making sure he gets up the table for that 4 ball, and he could be all square. 6 ball is the problem. Now, the good thing about the 6 ball is the 4 ball's adjacent to it, and that always makes it 10 times more easier to get good in the 6, as long as he's good in the 4. So it's all ifs and buts. Well, he's got the wrong angle on the 4. He may well just have to brush through off the 7 and leave this 6 down into this corner pocket here as we look. Nope, he's drawn it back. Well, this is going to bring the cue ball into the table, and he may well have to draw off this as well if he's going to come in. No, he's playing it gentle to hold, and he's managed to get the pace right, because it could have went badly wrong behind that 10. And I'll be doing his damnedest to get this match back all square. Draggy draw like that draggy draw shot with just enough power to get the cue ball spinning. Just spin it into the table, and we're back all square. And I'm going to have a quick look at the bracket. Where are we? What was the other match I was talking about? Well, that was 6 o'clock. Why did I think it was starting an hour later? See, I can't even read this bracket. It's an hour before the Bill match. That's what it is. Or 90 minutes before it. Bill's match is what, 7:30 is it? Aye, that go. I thought it said 4 o'clock, but it was actually a 6. Anyway, Albie's broke off. In rack number 17, the 8 ball has gone. Sorry, the 7 has. And look at these balls. I mean, if he can get the 1, well, he's tried to. He has played that. He's played the pot. He's not hit a rail, and it's a gift of a chance for Acero. Now, what about this 2 ball? Well, the 2 is an issue because it's tight. There's no margin of error on the 2 from that side, and he's going to have to get as well behind it as he can. He's just slightly off, and this makes it a lot more difficult. He's just got to use the jaw. He hasn't called the 4, so he's playing past the 2, past the 4. That'll do. And everything looks good from here on in, as long as he gets on the 4. But Albinario had to play where's this cue ball finishing up? Where's it going? I think he's okay. But Albinario, with that little delicate shot, he had to play it dead weight and didn't get it to the hole and didn't get it to a rail. And Acero, well, not risking any English on it there to get it further up the table. Oh, that was tentative, and I think the previous shot he may well should have risked a little bit of bottom and left just to punch the cue ball past that middle pocket in the top side on the left hand side, and he left himself further away from the 5, and it's going to cost him. And those type of errors with the table gaping, he needs to stop them. And it is really the first sign of a nervy shot from Acero. But he should have taken that rack away. Albinario, well, a little testy one. It's all just about the 9 ball. You don't need to worry about the 10. But it is going to be Albinario at this point in the match who's going to go into the lead at what you would say is a pretty crucial time, considering what happened to Acero there. But that was a big miss, and is it going to prove costly? Well, it certainly will. If Albinario can cut this one. The 2 ball has gone in the break. The 3 ball down near this bottom left. 4's back up the table though. Well, I think he's... Now, what does he do here? Does he hit this plain ball and come between the 5 and 10? Or does he try and go inside the 5? Yeah, inside the 5. So he's leaving the high cut again. Well, this is similar to Acero pretty much. And Albinario's made a... Well, he's overcut it. He's actually overcut it, which is the best thing to do, because it's now gone safe. And this is difficult to keep safe as well. If he goes to bank the 4 down the table and try to hide behind the 7 and 8, he's got to get this nailed. And he hasn't. I think he's just squirted out, or has he? Well, commentator's eye has gone wrong again, because he's got him snookered. And Albinario looks as if he's lining up to attempt the jump. see if he can get success. Has he been speaking to Yamaguchi Taru? We're about to find out. Well, that is successful because he's hit the 4. And it's not a difficult cut. That isn't the problem. The cue ball is going to run, and looking at the angle, 1, 2, he might have to play a 5-10 combo here. Well, he's playing it gentle to, well, in the end he's got on the 5 but missed the 4, and I think Albinario is going to have to shave the paint off this 4 ball to pot it. It's just beyond the threshold of the centre line on that middle pocket. It could go to the point. Well, he's called it. He's got to get this so thin that he's got no clue where the cue ball's ending up, and he has to really hit it to get the pace into the 4 on such a thin cut. Oh, well, it went in comfortably, and now it's going to be the 5-10, and it's 5-10 for a 2-rack lead, approaching the business end of the match. Well, we saw that nervy shot from Acero, but he's going to have to respond whenever he gets a chance again, and has to take it out. The combo goes in, and the lead goes to 2, and Albinario, the first to double figures, needing another 4 to march on. Well, this is what I said. I'm repeating myself again. My concern is whether Acero could keep up the same standards as he did in Bill's match with him. Now, the break started to work for Acero, but he just isn't getting the runouts. But he's got a chance here. I mean, these balls are perfect, and the last match, not a problem. He was running out. It was a guarantee that he was running out. Now I've got my doubts if he can hold his nerve. Has he gone far enough? Yes, he has. Now, whatever you do, don't bring that 8 ball into play. This is vital for the prospects of Acero in the remainder of this match. Most certainly it is. He has to take it out. Well, this is another testy one. I mean, it looks straightforward. You've got to get that 7 ball in and get the cue ball. Either let it run through like that, which is probably the safer option than the stun, knowing these pockets. Well, it's going to be back to within 1, and what a vital rack that was for Acero's prospects. Trailing by 2, but now with the break, and no ball in the break, the 6 has locked up the 2. Well, It is from that side, but the 2 goes into the middle, it goes into the corner, so it's not necessarily safe. But the pot that Albinario's got, well, he's going to play safe. He's not playing any pot here. He's just going to push that into the bunch of balls and try and get the cue ball away. I don't believe he's playing the pot. Yeah, just trying to hide everything. And, well, acero should be able to hit this one. And if he can hit this, if he's going to have to spin it, if he's going to go between the 10 and 4, he's going to have to spin the cue ball. I think that is probably the best way to go about it, because if he can hit it full in the face, he might get cover here. If he goes that way, it's a tighter. He's going to have to spin the cue ball a lot more to try and get to the one from there. I think he's got to go this way and use as much as he can next to that 10 ball and get the spin working, and that will do very nicely indeed. He's hit it perfect. He's hit it on the edge, banked it to the side rail, tucked it away behind the 7 and 9, and now he's in control. Oops. Hit the wrong bloody button again, guys. So Albinario has a big problem here. No, it happens when I hit Control and U to reset the camera, and if I don't look at what I'm doing, I hit the Windows button, and obviously takes me back to the desktop. Well, Albinario has got the hit. He's got a rail, but he's left a shot for acero. And of course, whenever I tab out of this mouse, this old G5, it always resets the DPI, and I end up spinning the table. Well, he's going to brush the 2 into play, no doubt about that. Oh, he's gone straight. Well, look where the 3 ball is. Can he find the gap between the 9 and 4? I think he can. Or is he going to try a deep draw? He might run into the 6. Well, he's tried to get really cute there. Now wait a minute here, acero I think has lost count. He hasn't seen the 3 ball. He has not seen the 3 ball at the top end of the table, guys. Nobody tell him anything. Now he's having a look around. Well, I still don't think, looking at the way he's moving the cue, he doesn't know the 3 ball's there. Am I out of sync? We'll soon find out. He's called the 5. He's looking to play a combo in the 5 with the 4, but I think he's maybe just realised that an Albinario is doing him a favour. I mean, why the hell is Albinario telling him? Albinario's got a 10-9 lead, and Mr. Goody Two Shoes is telling acero that the 3 ball's up the table. Bullshit with the sportsmanship. Sod the sportsmanship. That's entirely the player's problem if he doesn't notice the 3 balls there. Well, Albinario has now got ball in hand. I wouldn't have. Look at where the cue ball's going. There's what sportsmanship does for you, folks. There is exactly what sportsmanship does for you. I would not have opened my mouth. And look what happens. He scratches, and he's given acero the chance to tie the match. But he's still got a problem here. This 6 ball is not good. Well, that's Japanese thinking for you. That is tactical 10 ball if ever I've seen it. Pretend you don't see the 3. Can't get out of the snooker. I'll be his ball in hand, and then scratches. Well, there was always going to be the problem on this 6 ball. So, no, I sleep perfectly okay without being sporting and telling my opponent in a big tournament, oh, you've missed the 3 ball, don't forget about that, buddy. Oh, yeah, I keep telling you, there's no such thing as sportsmanship in terms of doing the guy a favour by telling him that. Yes, you be respectful, good luck, etc, etc, but none of this stuff. Oh no, there's no Mr. Nice Guy when you're playing in a tournament, forget that. Oh, Albinario's lost. Yeah, but Albinario was nice, wasn't he? Yeah, but he lost. I sod that. Yeah, you were unlucky, Albinario, but you were very nice. Yeah, he's going to be remembered for that. Well, Acero has now given Albinario the chance to open the gap again. Yeah, I knew straight away when Acero was turning the cue and he's looking at the 4 and 5. I'm thinking he doesn't even know the 3 balls there. So focused at the other end of the table, forgot about the 3. See, I'll tell you something else. You know, if I was playing doubles, right, and my partner was at the table, right, and he was doing the same thing as Acero was doing, I wouldn't even tell my partner that the 3 ball was up the top of the table. You know why? Because I would want him to feel like a complete numpty after he'd played the wrong shot. That's how sportsmanlike I am. I would have done it to humiliate him. Well, it's bad news for Acero because he's now trailing by 2, and Albinario ball in the break but no shot. Has Acero got anything to give to stay on the winner's side? Yeah, but you're talking real life, we're talking VP4 though. Yeah. First thing you would have said to your partner, don't forget the 3 ball, when he's walking to the wrong end of the table. Well, Acero in a spot of trouble again, and he's going to try. Oh, what a shot, but unlucky though, extremely unlucky. That has killed the cue ball, and he can barely see an edge of this too, and if he does see the edge of it, he's going to scratch. He's tried to kick it. He needed a bit more juice in that because it cuts easily into the middle, and well, this is where Albinario's strength should come through, because he'll be determined to run this out from that unsuccessful kick safe there by Acero. Albinario will be looking at cleaning up here to give him, well, a comfortable lead at this stage in the match. But regardless of the outcome, whoever does lose this match, it just means it's going to bulk up the one loss side with Sharks. It's going to be a bloodfest on the one loss side, and it'll be even more of a bloodfest once Stubb lands over there. Well, I can't quite fathom what Albinario saw there with that shot. The big heavy stunt, the cue ball's moved about 4 inches, and now what does he do? Well, he's tried to avoid a 9 for first of all, and he's left a difficult cut for acero, and this match could chop and change on this visit here by acero. He's been given a lifeline. And he's not risking it. He's got to get the safety though. And oh, I think he's just got there. Well, that was a dicey shot, but it was a brave shot. But is he going to get another chance though? And it's a good safety from Albinario. The safe shot here is just to bank the 7 to the side rail, or if he chips across the right hand side of the 7, he can achieve distance with the cue ball, but he's bringing the 7 into play unless he really gets it thin. Well, don't tell me he's seriously thinking about trying to cut this. I think he's just pushing it to the side rail. I can't believe he's thinking of cutting this. Need to watch the cue ball as well. Yeah, well, I think that was the wrong choice of shot at this time in the match. Trailing by 2. I mean, does he feel he has to go all out? He had a better chance when the 7 ball was down here. That was his better chance there with that cut, rather than trying that shot so close to the rail. I think that's a bit of a brain fart by acero. All out on such a difficult 7 ball. And now he probably regrets not taking it on in the first place when he had the chance. So the shot choice was right, that he ended up getting the snooker, or the partial snooker, but it's all backfired in acero big time. I think the shot choice there was wrong. He should have looked at skimming the 7 and getting distance. He may well not have got a snooker, but he would have certainly left nothing easy for Albinario, and he's going to pay the price. And Albinario goes to 3 racks in front, and that is a vital rack, because it was a good chance. A difficult start for acero. He turned it down to run the table, and well, I agree with that, Stubb. I just don't agree with the way you treat opponents. You don't give them bullshit. You forgot that bit about the end of the statement. You don't trash talk the opponent in the chat. Once you perfect that, then everything's fine. Acero at the table with a chance. Oh goodness knows. I mean, I had 75 viewers in total for one of those triple headers that I did, because I checked the analytics thing. I had 75, which is probably a record for me. Well, I'm going to say it, but need I say it? I mean, he's got to take it out. Simple as that. Has to do it. Cannot afford the error. If he does this time, he's dead and buried. There's no way back. Yeah, I mean, Stubb knows what his problem is. I've told him often enough. I mean, if you look at the way Cobra and Albinario keep tighter control of that cue ball, the touch is better. Stubbs too long distance a lot of the time, having to dig himself out of holes with pots. That's not going to go, is it? Oh, goodness me. Well, he's hanging on by a thread here. Hanging on by a thread. Oh, the problems ahead as well. Look at the 8 ball. That 8 ball is a problem. Big time. And is he going to have to play? Well, I think he has. He's got to get down this side of the table here in the open side to play this 8-9 combo. And he's not going to be doing that where he is in the 7. I mean, this is tough. I think you've just got to focus totally on the pot in this 7 ball. Where's the cue ball? And that is a disaster. He should have played that with a wee bit of inside. It would have made the pot difficult, but it would have taken away the scratch. And, well, I think it's all over. There's no way back now. And it has come to fruition that Acero just has not been the same standard he was in his previous match, and that's the consistency you need if you're going to stay on the winner's side in this tournament. Good afternoon, Tin. You're a bit late to arrive to the party. Well, the good thing about Vinces in that match, if you remember that match, Vinces wasn't bothered in the slightest. He never let anything get to him at all. And he certainly didn't have Stubb muted. Well, Albinario on the hill, breaks off. The 6 ball is gone. A shot in the 1. Get back out and across. Well, he's left it a bit short. And the other problem's the 4 ball. That's the only lifeline at the moment. Well, you see, the other thing we have to be respectful of is maybe Stubb has got behavioural issues that we're not aware of. You know, there's all sorts of people with all sorts of various disabilities, and Stubb might be one of them. He just hasn't told us. He's obviously got problems when he's dealing in public. Well, Albinario has locked up the cue ball right on that 7, and look at how tight it is. Yeah, I think he's got mental health issues, with the greatest of respect, and we don't know it. The only evidence we see is the way that he behaves during matches. And if that's the case, then I've got a little bit of sympathy for him. He just doesn't know how to deal with situations. Oh, aye, Tin is here, yeah. Yeah, you can get Tin to sort it out in 2 seconds. Well, I can tell, Tin, it saves you typing. Haz won't be able to play his match, Tin. He's in Spain, and he's going to have to forfeit. That's basically it. No, well, I don't think he's going to be back in the country for, well, goodness knows when. I'll leave it up to them to tell you. Well, Acero has got the kick, but the 4 is on, and this match is over. Well, guys, quick reminder, I got my clock wrong again. That's never a first time, but there's a match in an hour and 15 minutes time. We'll look at the bracket just as this finishes, just to refresh your memories before you all jump out and abandon me, because we've got 2 matches to come. I'm going to go and get my dinner, and I'll be back for the first match of this evening. Albinario just going to complete the formalities. Well, he's going to have to go across the table twice if he's going to play the 10 long, or just come across the table and play the 10 into the middle with a sort of tight cut. So he's got a choice to make here. Yeah, it's going to be, well, I think he's going to take this long. I mean, that's too tight to cut, is it? Well, he's taken into the middle. So this for the match to win by 14 racks to 9. So there was going to be 4 or 5 racks in it, 3 or 4 or 5. And Albinario has come good in the end. And he is through. So before you all go, right, let's just have a look. Don't all run away. Did I put that update? No, I didn't. Right, let's just get ourselves arranged and sorted out here. So if we look at the top end on the 1 loss side, we've got Bedhead against Mooncake in an hour and 10 minutes time. So go get something to eat, come back. That'll be the warm-up match, and then later on at 7:30 we have Mr. Bill against Sylvia, and well, that should be an interesting match. It should be interesting. It might be that Bedhead is going to be too strong for Mooncake. Unless Mooncake can up his game, he's certainly going to have to, because he was nowhere at the ballpark in his first match, and he's got the ultimate test here because Bedhead is looking strong on this 1 loss side. He's been fairly impressive, so it's another danger on this 1 loss side. So with that, guys, I'm going to go get my dinner. Once again, thanks for joining us, thanks for your company. It's been a pleasure. So if you can, get yourself back in here. If you can't make it for the first match, make it for the second one, and I will see you in an hour or so. So until then, take care, stay safe, keep your distance, and I'll see you again soon.